Good evening everyone and welcome to the world premiere of Redux.
I'm the award-losing Richard Domenici. Thank you, Sheffield, and good night. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the Redux project before we begin. The Redux project started by mistake in 2013 after my supposedly one-off remake of scenes from a popular Bangkok rom-com received better reviews than the original. Site-specific and scalable and participatory, the Redux project celebrates and subverts the cultural heritage of the places it visits by attempting to make shot-for-shot remakes of scenes from famous movies, starring local volunteers, on a shoestring budget, in the same locations where the originals were filmed. Intrigued by the good review, I attempted a second Redux, which was more ambitious, utilising practical in-camera special effects. And the same thing happened again. A reviewer from The Scotsman gave my cheap remake 1 star more than they actually gave to Cloud Atlas, which only got 3 stars. So, at this point, I saw a trend emerging. Even though the project is derivative, it appears to be adding value. So that fascinated me, so I've subsequently made over 60 Reduxes around the world. People say this is a strange project for you to be doing, Richard. You have no history of making films or things like that. And I say, yeah, it is, but I have a long history of impersonation. This is me impersonating the Olympic torch in 2008. My performance involved running about a minute ahead of the actual torch with a fake Olympic torch to cause the kind of uncertainty that leads to possibility amongst organisers, spectators, protesters and the police. And it went quite well, so for London 2012, I decided to repeat the performance on a far more ambitious scale. I fashioned a torch from a roll of sequin waste. I bought an outfit that a baker might wear. That was the nearest I could get without infringing the Olympic brand guidelines, which were very strict. It was all about timing. Timing was everything in this performance, and in Newcastle I hadn't figured out the right moment to go. I don't know, did the Olympic torch come through Sheffield? There were 3 sponsorship vehicles. And if you got between the sponsorship vehicles and the actual torch, there's normally a gap of about a minute. You could inhabit that space, and neither of the police guarding the sponsorship vehicles or the torch would be able to get you. And I reckon about 50% of the people thought I was real. I don't know. I'll just show you Piccadilly Circus. This is the finale. By this point, the police had figured out what I was up to. I wasn't technically breaking any laws, but they were quite upset with me. And so you can see I'm running very quick because there's a van full of police chasing me down Regent Street. So they took away my torch, but they did not take away my freedom, and that concludes Torch 2012. In an interesting lesson about how the avant-garde often gets subsumed into the society that it critiques, that fake Olympic torch will soon be on display at the National Media Museum in Bradford in July. So do go and have a look at it if you want. I'm hoping to take that performance to Tokyo in 2020 if anyone would like to help support that project. That policeman was shouting at the audience, "It's not the real torch! It's not the real torch!" But by virtue of cycling alongside me, everyone was very excited, too excited to hear what he was saying, because they thought he was my police escort and therefore that I was the real torch. He realised after a few minutes that he was having the opposite effect. They're called Fuck Spiz. So yeah, I've got a long history of impersonation. I've also been trying to undermine hegemonies, or power structures if you will. I've been writing lyrics to other popular American instrumental television shows in the hope that I can similarly recoup 50% of the royalties. I'll now demonstrate my first attempt for the 1980s procedural crime show Cagney and Lacey. Oh good, so murmurs of recognition. Walking the streets, Cagney and Lacey, take a rest. interestingly, those lyrics also work for the 1990s theme tune to Grange Hill. Walk in the streets, Cagney and Lacey, female police. So that's two sets of royalties for the price of one. People say to me, why are you interested in reduxing threads, Richard? And I say, well, you know, I was always quite interested in the threat of nuclear confrontation as a child. Following the detailed instructions provided in the government handbook, Protect and Survive, I lived in this domestic fallout shelter for approximately 2 weeks. I was asked to leave on July the 7th when a bomb went off in a tunnel in the underground station beneath Liverpool Street where the hotel was. So I was evacuated from my bomb shelter. This is a performance called 99 Red Balloons, in which I disseminate 99 red balloons filled with helium to the audience, and then the audience inhale the helium from the 99 red balloons, and then we sing the song 99 Red Balloons. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, it's my great honour to present the world premiere of Threads Redux. Thank you. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. I only reduxed up until the apocalypse for budgetary reasons. But if this version is well received, maybe I can come back next year and do the post-apocalyptic bits. That's Liz, the director of DocFest. I'm instructing her on her important scene. As you can see, she's not wearing nail polish. That was somebody else's hand. Yeah, that's not Liz's hand. It was amazing. Oh dear. And then what else? There's Majid. Majid, thank you, Majid, for being in the Redux. Are you here tonight, Majid? Hey, thank you, Majid. Round of applause for Majid. These guys were in the original Threads. That's them in 1984, and that's them now. They still managed to carry their daughter down the road, even though she's much older now. So that was Pauline, Tony and Lisa. This is where I've been staying this week. This is me attempting to check the flammability of the cladding on the 29th floor. Here's the milk float. And I'm sure you're all fascinated to learn how we did the urination shot. Here's Kate. Today, this was the last shot we did this afternoon. I don't know if you're familiar with the 1984 Eurovision Song Contest. Yeah, good, yeah, well the 1984 winners. Now for those of you that speak Swedish, you'll know that they were singing about how they love to wear their golden shoes. This was 1984, and I was wondering if they'd seen Threads, and Golden Shoes was a reference to that scene in Threads.
We were all supposed to be running into shops, but of course it was Sunday, early Sunday, because that's and the shops were shut early Sunday, so we were just sort of holding onto the shutters because we couldn't get in.
Yes, I have to stop there, that is the shop. Thank you so much for taking part in Threads Redux.
I would like to invite the cast of Threads Redux onto the stage! Please!
Hi, I'm Lisa. I enjoy climbing on, but my dog can still come down the street.
Thank you for letting me into the BBC building. Hello.
Hello, hi, my name is Majid. I was wrong with the tin opener for selling for £1.50 and I've still not managed to sell it. So if anybody wants a tin opener for £1.50, come see me afterwards.
Thank you, Magic, for taking part. Really cool. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Oscar and it was completely worth the time.
There you go.
Give Oscar some extra wine, yeah?
Oliver, and it was just random, but in such a good way.
Thank you, Oliver. Oliver took some beautiful photographs that you saw earlier as well.
Hi, I'm Max, and I would like to thank Richard and the whole Redux project team for helping me get my 10,000 steps in on Thursday.
There you go, it's a workout.
I'm Jack, and my mum was really impressed that we made it in The Guardian.
So was my mum.
Thank you, everyone. They all said very nice things. There's probably some negative feedback as well.
What I would like to say, and I don't want to put words into your mouth, but I imagine for you it's been a kind of an experience that has helped you overcome some of the trauma that you felt when you first saw it in the 1980s. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Thank you so much for the cast. Magic.
I'd like to tell you this genuine painting from the Graves Gallery. There you go.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Anyone knows anyone who lives in Newcastle who looks a little bit like Michael Caine? I'm doing a tournament as well in Redcar, the Dunkirk scene, shot on Redcar. So yeah, it's going to be on YouTube on Monday. Do have a look at it again if you want to, thereduxproject.com/threads. Thank you, Sheffield. I've been Richard Energy. Good night.
Have a look at your DVD.
Yeah, have a look at the DVD. There you go. Where's the wine?
There.
Here's the wine, everybody. Here's the wine. RuPaul's Drag Race Redux, I think, is a big. Yeah, that's Darren's idea.
Yeah.
There you go, lovely. There you go. What colour would you like? Well, I have got rosé, yeah, that's my favourite.
Oh, I forgot my name wrong. It was June. It's okay.
That was a 3 a.m. hour. Let me write that down on my phone. By the time it goes out on Monday.
People were curious. People were curious about how